All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan, and boy, oh boy, have I got some news for you about Mohammed Hijab. I haven't seen this video yet. I just saw this tweet where this woman, who goes by the name of Queen Natalie, she's saying shocking revelations surface in a recent interview with the ex-wife of none other than our very own Mohammed Hijab, where she bravely spoke about her harrowing experience. She alleges that during their marriage, she was treated as little more than a sex slave, a primary component of Islam that I have spoken about in quite detail in my book and also in my videos. Kept in hotels, subjected to manipulation and control under the guise of religious authority. Her story sheds light on a disturbing side of the controversial figure, to say the least, raising questions about power dynamics and abuse hidden behind public personas who follow Islam. Where is the left's outrage at this? So what is she talking about? What is this all about? Let's have a look at the full interview. I haven't watched it, so my reaction is going to be live. So let's have a listen to this guy.
In a world of spiritual influencers and public dawah figures, trust is currency. And with trust comes responsibility. But what happens when that trust is weaponized, twisted into manipulation, secrecy, and abandonment? This is the case of Sister Aisha.
Aisha! At least she's not 9 years old.
Name is concealed for protection. Her voice unshaken.
Okay, that's not a real name.
Her truth revealed. After months of conversations, evidence gathering, and consultation with scholars, we reached out to Mohammed Hijab, not to ambush, not to sensationalize, but to give him the opportunity to speak. Instead, we were met with deflections, threats, manipulation, and a disturbing refusal to acknowledge what multiple witnesses, texts, and even a sheikh confirmed.
Well, that's classic Mohammed Hijab. Whenever you try to confront him, instead of answering the question, he just tries to intimidate you or bully you into submission.
Secret nikah did occur, and a woman was left in emotional and spiritual devastation. We were told it was all fabricated. We were told she was obsessed. We were told, produce evidence or leave me alone. But here's the thing. When a man of influence hides behind false oaths, auto-deleting messages, wears a mask to a hotel, and tells a woman, you accepted this after promising her love, family, and care, this isn't just about a failed marriage. It's about abuse. It's about deception under the guise of Islam. It's about the power dynamics in the...
The problem here is that Islam actually allows this kind of behavior. Let me give you a bit of Islamic perspective into this. If you are already married to a woman, you don't have to tell your first wife that you're going to have another marriage in secret. A man is under no obligation. In fact, Mohammed Hijab himself has discussed that. Let me try to find that video. I think this is the video. So let's have a listen to Mohammed Hijab and his boyfriend Ali Dawa proudly and boastfully admitting on camera that it's okay to lie to your wife.
Feminist sisters who love their sisters, who will die for their sisters, will take a bullet for their sisters, but will not share their husbands for their sisters.
Ooh.
You can lie to your spouse. You can lie to your spouse.
Okay, can they lie in the context of, for example, if one says, I sense that you've got a second wife, can he say, no, I don't?
Yes, you can say that.
You can say that.
I personally believe
He said it himself. Even if you have a wife in secret, you can lie to your first wife and totally deny it. And that's probably exactly what he's doing. How stupid are these people? Look at the poor sisters. I feel bad for you ladies, but he's actually right. He is under no obligation to tell you that he has married another woman in secret. He's under no obligation. That is the religion that you've signed up for.
the Prophet said you can do it. White lie? It doesn't have to be white. It can be a black lie. If someone does this and they get caught, for example, or something happens, or
or she just asks him, where were you last night?
Yeah, but even that, he can lie. The man can do it. It's up to the man.
You can lie. So it's not just taqiyya for the sake of Islam, but you can also lie to hide your sexual activities as well. What a pious religion this is. And hey, he can actually lie about having a sex slave too, which they didn't discuss here.
Woman can take that right amount away from the man.
Okay. Let's have a listen to his sister's reaction and then we'll go back to the original video.
From Islam, I think my integrity, my dignity, my, who I am as a person, I would think it's so disrespectful for my husband to go and marry somebody else secretly. That to me is cheating, even if it is fine. Islamically correct.
This idea of...
Oh my God. Okay. I'll include the link to this video in the description so you can go and have a look at the whole video where he justifies marrying in secret, having sex slave. I don't think he discussed that, but you can extend that to sex slavery as well. And then he justifies lying to your wives. Let's get back to the original video. And I think that's exactly what's happening.
It's about betrayal from someone who called himself her teacher, her leader, her protector. This is not entertainment. This is not fitna. This is the fallout of unchecked power in religious clothing. The sister sought help after what she deemed was a deceptive secret marriage, going to different shuyukh. Yet no one wanted to step up and investigate Mohammed Hijab'S actions. Everyone turned a blind eye. Sounds all too...
And I think he must have gotten involved in the secret marriage around about the same time as this other video came out. That video came out about a year ago. So a year ago, Mohammed Hijab was getting involved in this business of secret marriage and lying to his wife. Let's have a listen to what the lady has to say.
Here is Sister Aisha's voice, uninterrupted, unfiltered, and finally heard.
I never thought that one day I'm going to have to come out publicly on social media and speak about something like this. People who work for Islam and to protect our religion have always been more than family to me. And Mohammed Hijab in specific, I had a lot of respect and trust in him because of how scholars are praising him worldwide.
Well, scholars also have some desires, you know, and unfortunately, we've told you, we've warned you many times before that Islam is a religion made by men for men, and women like you, I'm sorry to say, are nothing more than baby-making machines. Actually, no, hang on. Let me refine that. Your first wife is nothing more than a baby-making machine, and then your subsequent wives after that are purely for your pleasure. They say that openly. This is Sahih Bukhari, it's a Sahih Hadith, it's an agreed upon Hadith. The Prophet used to visit all his wives in a round during the day and night, and there were 11 in number. So Prophet Muhammad would go door to door to every single wife that he had. They didn't include a sex slave. He had probably 2 or 3 sex slaves as well. But he didn't used to visit them regularly. He only used to go and see them, you know, whenever he wanted to. He used to go to them one by one and perform his husbandly duties one by one. And then one of the companions of the Prophet asked, had the Prophet the strength of it? I mean, banging 11 women in 24 hours? That requires a lot of Viagra. So Anas replied, we used to say that the Prophet was given the strength of 30 men. 30 men! There you go. So he can at least satisfy 30 women. But this is not where this ridiculous hadith ends. I mean, that's just one element of it. Let me show you another disgusting element of this. The Messenger of Allah had sexual intercourse with all of his wives with a single bath. So he wouldn't even take a bath after visiting one of his wives. He would bang them all and then have a bath at the end. Maybe he was trying to share his love with all his wives. I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to the video.
Obviously, because of his position and his knowledge and all of that. I'm going to share this today, not because I want to, but because I have to. And I take an oath in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I'm only going to be sharing the truth. And my purpose is for the truth to prevail and for justice to be served and for there to be accountability and that we don't give unconditional impunity to our elites because this is not how our religion has been preserved.
Well, Mohammed Hijab, you've got my full support. Whatever you've done, it's 100% in line with Islamic morality. A man is under no obligation to tell his first wife that he has a second or third or fourth wife in secret. He's under no obligation to tell them. And he can divorce them whenever he wants. That is perfectly in line with Islamic morality.
This is the story of my marriage to Mohammed Hijab and how his actions that he claimed are permissible by Allah have completely destroyed my life. I'm coming from a religious family.
Oh.
My father is part of the da'wah himself,
Oh.
organized da'wah work.
Should have asked your father. I'm sure her father would agree with Mohammed Hijab.
I was part of an organized da'wah group in my own country growing up since I was a teenager. This is the life that I wanted to have. And I just wanted to make sure that when I die, I'm going to die on the faith of Islam. And I'm going to try my best to spread it everywhere as much as I can.
She's still willing to die for the same religion that has brought so much shame and misery and anger to her. But chickens for KFC, there's nothing else I can say.
Well, that's how we met. It was for da'wah work that was liaised between us
Oh.
through an Islamic institute.
Oh.
Asked me a few questions about myself, if I was married. Told him I was going through a divorce. So he
Oh.
told me that he worked for an Islamic council at the time.
Mm.
He gave me his contact details and told me to contact him if I needed help.
Here's my card. You know, if you need any more questions about Islam, make sure you contact me. Very naughty Mohammed Hijab. He knew what he was doing.
And to go forward to that council to try and reconcile the marriage. He was very respectful. He was trying to help me. He knew all the details about that case.
You did not know what was in his heart. This is why the Prophet Muhammad said you should not mingle with the opposite sex. That's why he didn't listen to the Prophet.
He was helping me throughout the whole process. Fast forward, he started giving me hints that he's interested in getting married to me.
Ooh. Or maybe that's why he was helping you out, because you couldn't divorce, but he wanted you to get divorced so he could have you for himself. Very naughty Mohammed Hijab.
Spoke to me about himself, his family, his childhood, his preferences. He told me, I am not like your ex-husband. Whatever you see on social media, don't worry, because I'm very good as a husband.
Ooh.
My life was extremely hard, and he knew that, and I'm his neighbor. I couldn't understand why he was giving me all those hints every time, but he never took that step. Whenever I found a suitor that I started considering to introduce to my father, it was extremely hard for me to navigate that by myself. Mohammed Hijab used to come back again. This cycle continued a few times. At that stage,
But he persisted. And I wonder why he persisted. I don't know if this woman was fully covered or not. And if she was fully covered, then I'm not sure how Mohammed Hijab would get so interested in a woman who he can't even see. Okay, so these things might be a bit un-Islamic. I give you that. Men and women are not supposed to mingle with each other on this scale where they are seeing each other over and over again. And of course, in that case, it's possible that one might seduce the other. And it may lead to some unwarranted relationships, according to Islam. But marrying a woman in secret, there's nothing wrong with that Islamically.
I didn't know if he was divorced or not. Until he asked for my hands. Formally, he told me, would you like him to consider me as a husband?
Ooh.
He told me it's going to be polygyny. At that stage in my life, I wasn't ready for polygyny.
Of course, it's going to be polygyny. A man can have multiple wives, but not the other way around.
When he proposed to me, he told me it's polygyny. I asked him to give me some time to pray istikhara. I wasn't sure.
Istikhara is a Muslim ritual where they put multiple possibilities in a hat and then they recite some verses and they pull a piece of paper out of the hat and they think that this is a sign by God. So they go with that option. That's what she's doing. She's probably going to do istikhara whether I should marry this guy or not. She's going to have a communication with Allah.
But when I thought about it, I thought he's a good man. I think from what I see and from how the scholars are praising him, he is going to be capable of taking care of a big family.
Ooh.
He is qawwam, he is a guardian, he is knowledgeable, he is religious, he is pious, and he is praiseworthy.
You ticked all the boxes, so that goes on to show that your criteria for a good husband is totally flawed.
Further to that, he was pushing the idea and reassuring me that I'm going to be very happy with him. Reassured me so many times and told me that I should never worry that he's not going to be keeping this family safe. He told me that he's ready.
These are halal dating tactics, by the way. All you Muslim boys taking notes?
And he's going to be taking care of everything. So there were so many things I took into consideration based on which I built my trust. Mohammed Hijab was trustworthy for me 100% for so many reasons. It's not only that he gave me his words and he's famous. I took time. I thought about it very deeply.
Ooh.
I ticked boxes, a very long list of boxes. His mother, his care of his family, the fact he was able to keep his family together for a very long time with his kids, and he memorized the whole Quran. He's in the front line of the da'wah. He's praised. There is a testimony of hundreds of scholars around the world who are praising him. He was placed in a position of marriage counseling, divorce in the Islamic Council. There were so many things. It was not for me just like the emotional element of it, because he expressed his feelings to me.
I'm just listening to all this and it just goes on to show that how ignorant Muslim women are of Islam. They just don't realize that whatever is happening to her, whatever she's going through, it is fully sanctioned by Islam. What do you think happened to Muhammad's wives? Haven't you read anything about how they bitched and moaned about Muhammad's special treatment of Aisha? How they were unhappy, how they even threatened to divorce Muhammad because he once slept with his sex slave Maria al-Qibtiyya. How these women were jealous of each other, how they used to team up against Muhammad. And then in result of that, a Quranic verse was revealed, which is actually Muhammad, warning his wives that if you create a front against the Prophet, then Allah will destroy you and replace you with other women. Muhammad made his adopted son, Zayd, divorce his wife, Zainab, so Muhammad could marry her. The sexual promiscuity in the name of marriage is all too common in Islam. Why do these women not appreciate it? You know how they actually cope with it? They actually say, oh, Prophet Muhammad married all these women because he wanted to spread Islam. Yeah, well, that's one way of spreading Islam. I'm sorry, I'm actually not understanding what Mohammed Hijab has done wrong. Mohammed Hijab, I'm on your side. You're 100% Sharia compliant. You're doing exactly what Islam asks you to do.
But I had feelings for him too.
Oh.
It was not just that. For me, it was a very big, rigorous process that I took, based on which, at that stage, whatever promise he would make, I would trust him. إن قالها فقد صدق. I am excited. I'm excited. I am happy. I'm going to have kids. And I was ready to have children. And we have the same ambition, the same lifestyle, the same priorities in life. All of a sudden, he stopped everything. He said, I think the best thing for me to do for you right now is that I wouldn't go ahead with this marriage. I was confused, especially after he opened up about his feelings. He spoke to my father. He's been pushing the idea forward. I had feelings for him too. I tried to get
so he didn't even marry her?
Explanations from him, but he didn't give me any reply. So we stopped contact. It took me a very long time trying to recover, and we stopped contact.
So he dumped you. Oh, okay, well, that happens too, sorry.
Contact completely. After like 8 months, he contacted me again.
Oh.
He apologized and said, I couldn't go ahead with the marriage last time because I had personal reasons. I am back, I'm here now. Let's go ahead with this. I am ready. Don't worry, we're going to go ahead with this time. Let's just make things quick. And he was rushing up the process. Obviously, I told him you have to talk to my father again. And like, it was quite hard this time, especially that he told me he's not ready to make a big wedding back in my country. I told him that's okay. He said, I am not ready. I'm not able to go and meet your dad in person for personal reasons.
What do you mean personal reasons?
And I trusted him. He said,
well, he's embarrassed. He doesn't want to confront her father because last time he gave assurances and then he pulled out. That's why he didn't want to see your father. And that's a big red flag. If he can't face your father and he's approaching you personally. By the way, this is actually haram as well. This part is also un-Islamic. So let me show you a hadith. So here is what Prophet Muhammad said about a woman who does not consult with a male guardian and arranges her own marriage. So looks like this woman is totally ignorant of this hadith. So this is Sunan Ibn Majah, Sahih Hadith, 1882. It says, the Messenger of Allah, Prophet Muhammad said, no woman should arrange the marriage of another woman and no woman should arrange her own marriage. The adulteress is the one who arranges her own marriage. So that's a blanket rule for every Muslim, except again for Prophet Muhammad, because, you know, he has special needs. So only Prophet Muhammad can skip a male guardian. And if a woman offers to marry Prophet Muhammad, then she doesn't have to consult with a male guardian. It's actually enshrined in the Quran, chapter 33, verse 50. Also allowed for marriage is a believing woman who offers herself to the Prophet without dowry if he's interested in marrying her. So if a woman presents herself to Muhammad and Muhammad says, okay, you're all right, I wouldn't mind marrying you, then she doesn't have to consult with a male guardian. This is exclusively for you and not for the rest of the believers, meaning Muhammad can do it, but Mohammed Hijab can't do it. Tell me again it isn't a made-up religion by Muhammad. So stupid. Anyway, listen to this.
Already, I'm not able to go and meet your dad in person for personal reasons. And I trusted him. He said, let's do this over Zoom. It's actually halal. And you just have to convince your dad. But he told me I'm not ready to show my face. I was confused. I told him, my dad is not going to agree to this. My father told him that my daughter and her child go together and they are a trust around your neck, an amana. I told him, don't worry, they're going to be in very safe hands. He promised that he's going to be meeting my family later. My dad gave me the permission to go ahead with.
So a dad gave her the permission to marry him. That hadith that I showed you doesn't apply anymore. So Mohammed Hijab covered his backside. He said it's 100% halal. He's actually right. All she has to do is get the permission of her father while he doesn't face her father, and then that's all good. And her dad, who's also a dawah guy, he also knows this, that this is a loophole that Mohammed Hijab took advantage of. And obviously this woman had no idea. Well done, Mohammed Hijab.
After we consummated the nikah, Mohammed Hijab kept on reassuring me, told me, look, I am here for this. There is nothing.
Oh, consummated. Let's get down to the business.
After we consummated the nikah, Mohammed Hijab kept on reassuring me, told me, look, I am here for this.
I'm here for this, not for anything else.
There's nothing that could possibly make me act like those players or those men that are incapable or not going to preserve their families and so on. And he told me, regardless of what could possibly happen, I'm going to preserve this family.
Okay.
Gradually, the new rules showed.
Oh,
He's not going to speak to my family ever
oh wow.
because he's Islamically not obliged to, he said. It's not
That's true.
necessary. It's going to give us more freedom. And he worked on convincing me of that opinion, Islamic opinion. I actually didn't even have to let them know that we did go ahead with the marriage. In that way, we're going to have more freedom. Then he told me, look, let's just book a flight and go out of the country and just forget about that. Let's just have a good free life. And we're not going to have to.
Free life. He wants to have a girlfriend where he doesn't have to confront the family of his girlfriend or wife, that he likes to call it, but he's obviously treating her like his girlfriend or a girl on the side. Very Western of you, Mohammed Hijab.
To explain yourself to anyone. Most of the marriages break because of the in-laws.
Oh.
Let's just not add more in-laws in the picture.
Oh.
After the nikah, Mohammed Hijab wanted a sex marriage.
Ooh.
He wanted a hotel marriage.
Ooh.
But he didn't stop there. There was more to come. He told me, listen, just act like a girlfriend.
Oh,
have, like-
there you go. See, I told you. It had girlfriend written all over it.
Like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
Oh,
Don't worry, it's halal. We're married now.
we're married now.
He wasn't asking about my rent, my provision. He never asked about those and never offered to pay for them. Then he went on a trip, a da'wah trip, and he told me
You're
that
a stingy boyfriend. These are expensive habits, Mohammed Hijab. If you want to have this kind of lifestyle, then you have to pay up as well. You can't be freeloading.
he was not ready to argue about my family situation. He said, don't worry, just delay it. We're going to talk about it when I come back. So we carried on. We had like interactions like a husband and wife. And I was waiting for him to come back in order for him to talk to my family and get their blessings. And I told them, my father is going to ask me now if we did go ahead with the marriage. I have to give him a reply. He told me just lie. Delay it. Tell him we didn't go ahead with it yet. I was stuck because I can't talk to my father and tell him, well, the man I told you to blindly trust and sign a contract with him for marriage doesn't want to talk to you because he's Islamically not obliged to. Your sister is just going to be jealous of you. She's older. She's never been married before. You're going to get used to the situation. It's halal. There is nothing wrong with it. Why are you making things difficult? Don't worry. I'm going to try not to get you pregnant. This is a real.
Coitus Interruptus. He's probably doing Coitus Interruptus. Let me show you what that is. Oh my God. He's not even treating her like a girlfriend. He's actually treating her like a sex slave. Let me show you this hadith. Oh my goodness. This is getting juicier than I thought. Coitus Interruptus. Okay, let's have a look. So during the early years of Islam, a lot of early Muslims acquired a lot of non-Muslim women whom they used as sex slaves. Now, they only wanted to have fun with these sex slaves, and then after they had their fill, they would sell them off to the next Muslim standing in the line. But they did not want the sex slaves to fall pregnant because that would reduce their price and the next guy in line would not pay the same amount. So that was a conundrum for these early Muslims. Here is how it was addressed. So this is a hadith, Sahih Bukhari 4138. I entered the mosque and saw Abu Sa'id al-Khudri and sat beside him and asked him about Allah's Coitus Interruptus. Abu Sa'id said, we went out with Allah's Messenger for the Ghazwa of Banu al-Mustalik and we received captives from among the Arab captives and we desired women and celibacy became hard on us. And we loved to do Coitus Interruptus. So when we intended to do Coitus Interruptus, we said, how can we do Coitus Interruptus before asking Allah's Messenger who is present among us? So Muhammad said, it is better for you not to do so, for if any soul till the day of resurrection is predestined to exist, it will exist. So Muhammad said, it's better if you don't do it because if there is a child who is going to be born, he's going to be born regardless. So I think Mohammed Hijab obviously didn't. Again, Mohammed Hijab is just finding loopholes in this. Prophet Muhammad did not like it. Here's another hadith. Oh no, this is Zaif. So there's another hadith. It's Muta Malik. It says that Ibn Umar did not practice Coitus Interruptus and thought that it was disapproved. It wasn't. There you go. There's another hadith. Oh no, that's Zaif. Oh, wow. So these ones are Zaif hadiths. Wow, looks like Mohammed Hijab found a loophole. All these hadiths that forbid Coitus Interruptus with free women are Zaif hadiths, meaning these are not reliable hadiths. See, there you go. It says Coitus Interruptus with a free woman except with her permission. So if this woman, Aisha, did not allow Mohammed Hijab to do Coitus Interruptus, then it would be haram for him to do so. That's what my understanding was. But obviously, Mohammed Hijab is more learned than I am, especially on this matter. And it seems like you can do Coitus Interruptus, even with free women. Mohammed Hijab has got his backside covered. Well played, Mohammed Hijab. So far, I don't think, other than meeting her in private, I don't think Mohammed Hijab has done anything that is un-Islamic. Well done, Mohammed Hijab. Well done. And this woman, I'm sorry, you're a fool. He hasn't done anything wrong so far.
In relationship, I'm going to keep this like this for the rest of our life. I told him, are you going to change this for what you promised me at a later time? He said, no. This arrangement works the best for me, and I have no intention of changing it. As soon as he said that...
So he married her in secret, sneakily got her father's permission without seeing him, and now he's doing Coitus Interruptus. The reason why he's doing it is that he does not want her to fall pregnant, in which case it's eventually going to come out and he's going to have to look after her. He's going to have to maintain them financially. He doesn't want to do it. So it's quite clear that from the get-go, he was treating her as a girlfriend and hasn't done anything wrong. I'm sorry. Whatever he's done is 100% Islamically legal.
I asked for divorce. He confirmed that he had no intention of paying the bills or the rent. He said, you didn't ask me for that when we were getting married.
Oh,
he said
you forgot to read the fine print, honey.
He just wanted to have full discretion. Everything is up to him. He will never change the hotel, ever. He will never speak to my family, ever. He's not going to be paying for anything. And we're not going to have kids.
I'm sorry, is there anyone feeling sorry for this woman? I'm not. It's the same when I see a white woman convert to Islam because she's fallen head over heels for a Muslim man, and then all of a sudden she becomes the biggest advocate of Islam without even knowing what is in Islam. What are her rights in Islam? She doesn't even know them. So I'm sorry, I don't feel sorry for her because Mohammed Hijab has been sneaky. He's found loopholes, but so far he hasn't done anything wrong.
I'm going to be taking care of my daughter. Nothing. We're never going to have a home. Every word he uttered was trauma for me. Every single one of them harmed me, carved wounds inside my heart.
Now, Aisha, ask what happened to Safiya when Muhammad killed her family. At least, you know, Mohammed Hijab didn't kill your family members. Your prophet killed Safiya's family, Rehana's family, and then he married them. If this traumatized you, then what makes you think that Muhammad's actions did not traumatize Safiya or Rehana? You people are just so terribly brainwashed that you are not willing to inspect or scrutinize your own ideology or religion unless and until the sword falls on you. But I'm sorry, by that time it's too late, so I don't think anyone is going to sympathize with you. We're just going to have a laugh at this.
Sick. I was sick. I was traumatized. I was shocked. I was not ready to hear that. I asked for divorce, and he gave it to me.
Oh, yeah.
And he was very angry. He said, why are you refusing something that is halal? This is Misyar. Why are you not accepting
it? Okay, Misyar, those of you who don't know, a lot of Muslims actually don't admit this practice of Misyar, also known as Muta in Shia Islam. There's a slight difference. So basically, Misyar is a temporary marriage where you go to a woman, you have the hots for. You don't fix a term. You don't say that, okay, our marriage is going to expire in a month or 2 months' time. So you basically say that I'm not going to treat you like a normal wife where I'm responsible for your financial well-being, your security, and blah, blah, blah. All the usual stuff that comes with a traditional marriage. I am not responsible for it. So that is Misyar. But the Shias are even more liberal in their approach. So what they do, they go to a woman and they say, hey, I need you. I have some urges. My wife is far away from me. Or maybe I'm just not satisfied with my wife sexually. So I need another woman. I like you. So how about you become my wife for a fixed period of time, such as 6 months or a year, or some people do that even for a night. so that is called Muta. So that's the difference between Misyar and Muta. Misyar is Sunni, Muta is Shia. And that's exactly what Mohammed Hijab did. He set out to do that. He had no intentions of having a traditional marriage with this woman. He found a loophole. This is a loophole. And I think this is deceptive, though. I don't think Islam allows you to have Misyar without the other party knowing. So if he led her to believe that this is going to be a traditional marriage, despite of all the signs that he had shown, that he had no interest in it, he didn't even want to meet her family, despite all of that, that is a bit sneaky. So yeah, I think some scholars might say that this is not according to the spirit of Islam. But overall, I don't think he's done anything wrong Islamically.
He was very angry. He said, what am I going to tell my friends now?
Oh.
And I was confused. You have completely destroyed my life.
What is he going to tell her friend? Hey, I got that woman. Yeah, I got Misyar, brother. He wants to brag about it. And I'm sure he has not told his standard wife and his standard kids, or his mother, or his family members. But he's told his friends. Friends, you know, what are friends for if not to brag about your sexual exploits?
My emotions, my mental health, my physical health, my social interactions. I broke. There is no one to take care of my daughter at all. I was completely broken. Many years of interactions. Nice.
There's no one to take care of your daughter. Why? Is Allah not looking after your daughter? Isn't this what feminism teaches you? To stand on your own 2 feet so you don't have to rely on a man to look after your daughter that's not even his daughter? Why would any man look after your daughter? Why? And the only reason you got this opportunity to even have some time with Mohammed Hijab was because you're young. And probably he thought you're beautiful. I don't know whether he saw you or not. He must have. That's why he came back after 10 months, because he was like, as a man, I know that feeling. All your missed opportunities, sometimes you go back and you go, damn it, I wasted that opportunity. I so had it. And that's exactly what he did. And he came back to you. He had no intentions of looking after your daughter. And you are stupid for believing in an ideology that forces you to rely on men to look after your kids. No, I have no sympathy for this woman.
Promises, speaking to my father and promising him many nice things, telling me that there is love in this and so on. And at the end, that's what I ended up with. After we argued a lot after our divorce, he told me, look, I can take you back if you want to accept what I asked from you. I said, obviously, I would never accept something like that. I couldn't even believe that he was asking me something like that at all.
Oh my God. So he was even going to put her through this practice of halala. Oh, listen to this. I'll explain that to you in a minute.
After we argued a lot after our divorce, he told me, look, I can take you back if you...
I can take you back. He can't take her back unless she goes through this practice called halala. And in halala, your ex-wife has to marry another man. He has to consummate that marriage. And then he has to divorce her. Only then she can come back to you. And my dear Mohammed Hijab, who was going to do this halala with this woman, Aisha? I'm sure one of your friends. I hope not Ali Dawah. Jesus Christ. I'm glad at least she said no. But a lot of Muslim women actually go through this practice, begrudgingly at least. There are places called halala centers in Iraq, in Pakistan, in India, where women who've been divorced by their husbands in a moment of rage or anger, and they want to get back with their husband, they can't do that because Muhammad said, nope, I want to punish men for divorcing their beloved wife so carelessly. So he has to be punished. And how does he get punished? He has to live with the reality that some other dude has banged his wife. What is this? What is this nonsense? And these idiots still believe in this religion. Oh my God, this is a goldmine.
You want to accept what I asked from you. I said, obviously, I would never accept something like that. I couldn't even believe that he was...
So she said, no, I'm not going to do this halala. I'm not going to get banged by your friend so I can get back to you. Someone who wouldn't even meet my family, who would only see me in hotel rooms and only treats me like a sex slave. Okay, that's the first good decision she's made up until now.
Asking me something like that at all. I was sick. After some time, again, during my iddah, he told me, okay, look, I'm going to fix it.
Iddah is the waiting period. You know, when a woman gets divorced, she has to wait for 3 menstrual cycles before she can see another man or before she can get married to another man, because these people obviously had not heard of pregnancy tests. So this was Prophet Muhammad's foolproof way of determining whether the woman you have just divorced is pregnant with your child or not.
Everything now. Going to involve your family and all those things that we agreed to. I couldn't trust him anymore. I contacted the sheikh and I was like, I really don't know what I have to do. I don't know whether or not to trust him anymore. In our final interaction, he was like, look, that arrangement of meeting in hotels is what I was looking for. And I thought you are the best suitor for that kind of marriage.
You're the best candidate for these. Oh my God, Mohammed Hijab. Well, he's been a bit deceptive, I would say, but not by a lot.
It is halal.
These loopholes exist in Islam, and even Prophet Muhammad benefited from these loopholes. Well, Prophet Muhammad had the luxury of making up these rules as he went along. For example, he wanted to bang his adopted son's wife. He was considered odd in that society. So Muhammad said, well, he's just my adopted son. And he conveniently got a Quranic verse. So Muhammad had a habit of making up things as he went along.
And that's the only arrangement that works for me. And I'm really sorry, but that's all what I wanted. He called it sex marriage. He called it a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And all of these things were mentioned after he got married to me.
Mohammed Hijab wanted a sex marriage. So I am so sorry. I'm laughing like an idiot. But you have to understand, these are exactly the things that people like me or other ex-Muslims have warned Muslim women about. I'm sorry, I just cannot empathize with this woman because this is a self-inflicted wound.
After he dragged me emotionally for years, for him, I was giving up on so many real options for marriage. I wanted to have kids. I wanted to take care of myself. I needed guardianship, me and my daughter, because I can't play both roles.
You see that? I hope this story serves as a valuable lesson for other Muslim women. You should not rely on a man. You should be able to stand on your own feet and look after yourself. I know you have to strike a balance because some women go way too far and they never end up having children of their own. We want to experience all the emotions that we are capable of. And being a parent is one of them. So you should strike that balance. But you should not throw all your eggs in the same basket. You should not rely on a man. You should get educated first. You should stand on your 2 feet, then get married, have kids. And if that marriage falls apart, then that's okay. You're not looking for another man. You're not a burden on anyone. So you can live your own life independently, with dignity, and on your own terms. That is the lesson to be learned from this story.
I was struggling a lot. This is the guy I got married to, and I thought, alhamdulillah, finally I am safe. Mohammed Hijab was the only man in this country I could ever possibly trusted this much.
Oh.
He knew everything about my life, my ambition, my background, my family. He knew everything. He knew my father is a very old man. He knew that I would struggle a lot to find a suitable husband.
Well, I'm sorry, your father is an idiot too. Mohammed Hijab played you like a drum. He said, I'm not going to meet your father, but you have to get your father's permission to marry me. And on top of that, you don't even have to tell him that you have married me. And he said, yes, you can marry him.
Because there is no one to help me vet anybody. He reassured me a lot about all of these details. He told me, you are in safe hands. I will take very good care of you, keep you safe. He told me I am not like those men who trash women the next day. He told me that he fights against feminism.
Ooh.
After he married me, he wanted me to be independent.
So these people hate feminism, but then they sell feminism to women like her because he doesn't want to take any financial responsibility for her. He doesn't want to pay for anything. So how is she going to survive? She's going to survive by looking out for herself. And how's that going to happen? She has to adopt Western feminist ideals. Go out, get education, get training, and then work and look out for yourself.
He told me if I take care of all the women around me and I deal with all their needs, I'm never going to be able to do anything for the da'wah. He didn't want to pay for the bills. He said you didn't ask for it during the nikah. He wanted me to play both the role of a man and a woman in my life. He used to fight the red pill movement. And now he was using their own statements with me. It's okay, you're going to get used to it, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I don't think that there is anyone who could ever possibly get to understand the degree of damage this whole thing has caused me. Mohammed Hijab for me was a representation of 23 years of da'wah. For me, he was a role model. He was a man of knowledge. He was someone I respected and I did put at a very high scale. I followed this exact same process that we normally use, based on which we get to trust men of religion who are sharing with us the Quran and Sunnah. When I realized I was going through an extremely horrible mental health crisis, I reached out to one of the shuyukh. I just wanted someone to help me understand what happened. My trauma did grow even bigger because Mohammed Hijab's reaction to that was crazy.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you are going through a mental health crisis and you go to a sheikh rather than a doctor. I forgot the name of the practice where they do these verses or whatever, and then they blow on to the patient, and supposedly your mental health crisis goes away. So clearly that didn't work for her. And of course it's not going to work for her because these verses are nothing but empty words.
He started threatening me as well to silence me openly. Ooh. He was like, listen, if you're going to expose this, I can get away with it. I can say anything as an excuse. And you're not going to get nothing from that. No one is going to have pity on you. Women will not. Men will not.
He's right. I don't have any pity for her.
I can give any excuse. I can tell them I was sexually not satisfied. In fact, I don't even have to give any excuse whatsoever. I gave you a mahr. There were 2 witnesses. That's it. Done. It was sealed. I'm safe.
He is 100% right. a bit deceptive, maybe. He found the loopholes in these provisions of Islam that are designed to facilitate men. I'm sorry, he played you, honey.
Ever imagined these kind of actions will come from him, ever. Anyone, but not him. So he followed a list of Islamic rulings, as he claims, and nothing of what he did was actually haram. It's Islamically all right to give false promises to a woman you intend to get married to. You're Islamically not obliged to fulfill those promises.
Oh, so by the end, it looks like she got it.
You are not obliged Islamically to speak to your in-laws. You don't even have to ask for their blessings after the nikah and congratulations.
Yes.
It's Islamically okay to live in a hotel.
Yes.
The husband can go to wherever he wants with his wife. He's not obliged to...
He can bang you in the car. He can take you to a park. He can do whatever he wants. That's...
pay for anything. He's not obliged to...
Who says Islam is a sexually repressive religion? Look how many provisions men have.
Provide, because I didn't need provision. It's Islamically okay not to have kids. The Sahaba used to avoid having kids. It's Islamically okay to keep everything secret.
Coitus interruptus, I told you.
It's to preserve the marriage. Even if you are to show up in the hotel separately and come out from it separately, the shuyukh I reached out to them made me even more traumatized. Some of them said, he is right. All this.
He's right. Yes, he's right. You stupid woman, and you still want to believe in Islam. Aisha, whatever your real name is, after all this, you still are not blaming the real culprit, which is Islam? Then I'm sorry, you are an idiot.
Things are halal, as long as the 4 pillars of nikah were met. You can't know what his intention is. But his intention is actually very clear. This is a no-string marriage. He said that with the intention of divorce. He articulated that. He encouraged others to go for these options. He openly and proudly said there is nothing wrong with marriage with the intention of divorce. And through deception, because actually a man is not obliged to Islamically fulfill his promises. There were no actions taken. I asked for help. I wanted these things to be resolved between scholars. I asked for justice. I wanted there to be actions taken. I was harmed. I was harmed. My life was harmed. He completely destroyed me and he was proud of it. Our elites and people who are at the front of this work, they have to be held accountable.
Accountable for what? If this doesn't make you an ex-Muslim, then I'm sorry, you deserved it. And you deserve that to happen to you again, because if you can't see that it is Islam that allowed it, then you're going to fall into that trap again. Or you should fall into that trap again. Logically, she probably wouldn't, because obviously once bitten, twice shy kind of thing. But Islamically, there is nothing wrong that's been done here. Some loopholes, but nothing more than that.
The silence of scholars and lack of accountability and complete scrutiny that creates monsters. I wanted to have a good life.
Mohammed Hijab only did that to you. He only did that to one woman. Your prophet, the one that you worship, did that to many women. In fact, when he was dying, 3 women were already on their way to see Muhammad. One of them showed signs of leprosy. So Muhammad said, no, I don't want to. Muhammad couldn't blow some Allah's word into her and cure her leprosy, but he turned her back. But there were 2 more women on the way to marrying Muhammad, but Muhammad died while they were on their way. So Muhammad was not slowing down. Muhammad did this to every single wife. The whole idea that a man can look after multiple wives at the same time and treat them all equally is bullshit.
I wanted to have a family. I wanted to be happy. You have completely destroyed my life and that of my daughter. All the ambition and emotions and dreams I had for religion, I wanted to be part of. Everything that I wanted in my life, that is completely destroyed because of you.
No, not just because of him. Because of Islam. Everything that he did was sanctioned by Islam. That you still follow. I do ask Allah to be the judge. Allah's got to say, bitch, get out of here. You didn't do anything wrong.
Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be the judge. I am never going to forgive you. Every breath of time that I have gone through all these years because of you, in your falsehood, in your oppression, in your transgression.
No, not a single transgression was made. Nope.
I do ask Allah.
My dear Mohammed Hijab, I am 100% with you, because whatever you did was 100% sanctioned by Islam. You have done absolutely nothing wrong. I stand by my brother Mohammed Hijab. Bro, you didn't do anything wrong.
Subhanahu Azza wa Jal to pay me back for that. I will never forgive you. I would like you to bring forward your evidence, and I want to challenge you to mubahala. Your sin is not a sin that has to be concealed. This is not something...
So those of you who don't know what mubahala is an activity where 2 parties who have serious disagreements with each other, they involve God, Allah, into their disagreement. And it goes something like, if I am lying, then may Allah curse me with such and such stuff. and the other person says the same thing. And in the end, there is no truth. It's another idiotic exercise, like many other idiotic exercises that you see in Islam.
Something you did between you and Allah to pay me back for that. I will never forgive you. I would like you to bring forward your evidence, and I want to challenge you to mubahala. Your sin is not a sin that has to be concealed. This is not something you did between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in hiding and you repented. This is not what you have done. This is something that you have doubled on. This is something you were proud of. This is something you spread. This is something you encouraged others to follow. This is something you continued with the McDonald's nikah. This is something you have
McDonald's, that's a good one.
articulated based on Islamic texts and from our own religion. أقسم لك بالله يمينا يا محمد يا حجاب. أقسم لك بالله يمينا. Wallahi, because I know that I'm talking about it is the truth. So I'm calling you out to these two things. Number one, I'm calling you out for mubahala. Come out. Give me just that mubahala, that dua. Give me just.
You scared boy. Come out and do the mubahala with her. You finished boy. It's funny, Mohammed Hijab, who tries to challenge, intimidate, provoke everyone, is cowering down to this little woman.
One dua and then disappear. If you are ready to do this, I would like to tell you something. I give you full permission to go ahead and file defamation case against me in the UK. 100%. You destroyed my life. I had da'wah projects. I was working with 10 sisters. I was doing my da'wah work. I was taking care of myself. I was ready to get married to a real man, someone who's really going to be caring for me and my daughter. I wanted to have kids. I had ambition. I had emotions. I had love. I had trust. I had belief. You destroyed absolutely everything. You took away my health. You took away everything from me. And I'm going to tell you this. I am here. Come and face me. I am ready to come out for mubahala, and I am going to be ready to go to court with whatever you would like to accuse me of. If you would like.
What court is she going to go to? A Western court? A Western liberal court? Again, this is another problem. So Muslims who are allowed to have 4 wives, and even these McDonald's marriages, or hotel brides or girlfriends or sex slaves or whatever, in the name of marriage. Whereas under English common law, a man can only have 1 wife at a time, but our authorities turn a blind eye. They know Muslims have multiple wives. They know that, but they look the other way. But if a Western man has 2 wives, I don't know what's the punishment for that, but they will take action against him. Yeah, you can have a girlfriend on the side. And look, isn't that amazing that these people shame Westerners by saying that, oh yeah, every married man has a girlfriend on the side, and instead of doing that, Islam allows you to have multiple wives. Are these the multiple wives you're talking about? That you marry in secret? What's the difference? You just grab 2 witnesses to fulfill the formality, but you're behaving in an exactly same deceptive manner that those cheating Western men are. What's the difference? There is no difference.
To go ahead with.
What you just heard is not fair.
All right, so we just saw this. So Mohammed Hijab, one of the biggest dawagandists going around at the moment, who is against feminism, who says that women should rely on their male partners before marriage on their fathers and after marriage on their husbands, marries a woman in secret, admits on camera that it is okay to lie to your first wife. You don't have to tell anyone that you have a second wife. Uses his wife as a girlfriend, some would say as a sex slave, because my understanding was you can't do Coitus Interruptus with a free woman. You can do Coitus Interruptus with a slave girl against her will. And what we heard, it seems like she didn't want him to do Coitus Interruptus. She wanted to have kids with him, but he didn't because he wanted to get rid of her whenever he was done with her. Now, I don't know how the Muslim community is going to react to it. I don't know if this is going to damage Mohammed Hijab. But in my opinion, Mohammed Hijab has been a little deceptive, but he hasn't transgressed. He hasn't done anything that is explicitly not allowed in Islam. Whatever he's done is 100% sanctioned by Islam. The only question is, why is Mohammed Hijab denying this marriage? Because he also knows that these facilitations given by Islam to men are unfair to women. That is actually pathetic. In a union of 2 people, man and a woman, both parties should be equal in respect, in dignity, in rights. But Islam doesn't do that. In Islam, a woman is always supposed to follow her male counterpart. And this is the reason why Islam has been so much kinder to men as opposed to women. It's 100% Sharia compliant, and Mohammed Hijab has done absolutely nothing wrong. But admitting that in public is going to be a bit more embarrassing than his confession that it's okay to lie to your wife, because at that point, He was only saying that, but now we have evidence he's actually done that. And Islam allows it. And I'm sorry if I acted like an idiot and maybe a bit uncompassionate towards that woman, Aisha. I stand by that claim because I have no sympathy for this woman or women like that. Not because she's a Muslim woman, but because if you are still, after all this, not willing to acknowledge that the real source of this misery that has been brought upon you is not Mohammed Hijab, it's Islam and your prophet. Mohammed Hijab was just an instrument. He was just an opportunist there, willing to use these provisions given to him by Islam, and unfortunately you were the victim of it. You were his primary target. Now, I don't know if he's going to stop with you. I don't know if you're the only one he used as a hotel wife. I don't know. There could be more. I hope other women will come out. And I still don't think that is going to destroy Mohammed Hijab's career. I don't think it will. I think he's going to keep going. And because the king of all, Prophet Muhammad, did all of these things.